Welcome back to the show that it looked like it was canceled, PhonePod, with Sam and me, Jake. We're sorry. We're really sorry.
But we're back for season 2.
Yeah!
That can be our excuse. You know, like July was the end of the season.
Right, yeah, exactly.
So we're starting back up, and what month is this? October.
Yeah, there we go.
It's been a little busy the past couple months.
Just a little bit.
So we'd like to apologize again. I'm pretty sure we said this verbatim back in July about how we've been busy. But I'm sorry.
But now, it's that busy times 2. So, or 10.
One of those.
Especially for Sam.
But we do have a lot to talk about today. Because since July, I think everything that could have happened with Apple has happened. Yeah. And everything with Windows that could have happened has happened.
So, I feel like we should just kind of jump around with, what we... with the important stuff. We're not, if we don't get to everything, that's just how it is. We're getting to all the stuff that we need to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So do you want to start out with the Apple event? Because that was, I think,
I can't believe we didn't do a podcast on that.
9th of September?
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. That was over...
It was, actually. God.
It was it was a month and a half ago.
Time is flying. We're in our senior year. We're trying to get a lot done. But, yeah, so, obviously, I'm shocked that the iPhone, they came out with another iPhone. It's crazy.
I know. Nobody was expecting it, but yeah. Tim Cook comes on stage. On stage. Did you see who the musical guest this year was?
I forgot who it was.
It was not One Direction.
The Weeknd?
No, not The Weeknd.
That was the other one. Yeah.
Hold on. Counting One Republic.
Oh yeah.
So did you see I had heard about this, so I skipped to it the other day because I wanted to see it.
I know exactly what you're about to talk about.
How he goes out in the audience.
Yeah, and takes a selfie with Tim Cook takes a selfie with him. He's like, "This is the best moment of my life."
Gosh, that was so weird.
And he's singing while he's doing it.
That was so weird.
Always
because he's mid-verse, and then I saw Craig Federighi or somebody stand, it must have been planned because he pointed towards where Tim Cook was, and then he runs across the place. I'm like, wait, was this an iPhone event or a Tim Cook
celebration?
Concert? Yeah, Tim Cook celebration. I don't know. It was so weird, and I don't know. And I was just watching the end of it, when they went back up on stage. He was just like, "Thanks so much for letting me be here, Apple." And then
he closed out.
And then was done.
Yeah.
But the way they talked, One Republic, or Tim Cook goes up there, he's like, he's giving everybody a hug. He's like, "You guys are awesome."
Yeah. You guys are awesome. All right, thanks, guys. And then they just close it. I mean, I did like that better than when U2 was up on stage. And the frickin'... So can we... Do we have, a button we can press? To send this to everybody?
Yeah, they were basically...
Pause. Awkward pause. Yeah, I think we can do that. So can we do it right now? Yeah. So we can do it right now.
They were basically, do you know what iTunes is? Which it wasn't that bad this year, but...
it was...
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was something.
But yeah, I did watch the whole event, and that was a better event. It was pretty good. But yeah, the iPhone 6s, it's blazing fast.
It is. From my experience, it is ridiculously fast.
Yeah, even though spec wise, it's not as big as other phones. Apple does what they do best to make their software run well with the hardware because they only have to develop for that hardware, just like a console has to develop. When people develop games for a console, it works better on the console because they don't have to develop for every PC part and stuff like that. And also Chipgate.
Yeah, so I am lucky. I don't know if any of you have heard about this who are listening, but
Yeah.
basically there is this thing where Apple contracted two separate companies to make the A9 processors instead of the iPhone 6S. And one company was, ironically, Samsung, which I still don't even know how that's a
That
thing.
Samsung has been making the. I mean, some people hear that and they're shocked. Samsung has been making the chips since probably like the first iPhone, I think.
Yeah, which is, I don't know, I still don't get it. But
I mean, here's how I like to look at it. This is so dumb. Like Apple takes the bet. Like if Apple makes the best stuff, but if they know something is better, they will use that. Like whereas like Samsung, they just use all the parts they can or whatever.
yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I guess they did it because Samsung, yeah, I guess either couldn't keep up or it was cheaper to just do both of the chips.
Yeah, and then the second chip that people might have on their phones is the TSMC Samsung. No, sorry, not Samsung. The TSMC chip. I think it was the
Yeah, I think you're
Taiwan
right.
Systems Manufacturing something. I know it was something
Yeah.
with Taiwan. So you could either have that one, and people actually did some tests with the two processor, and like it's a proven
It
fact
is
that the
actually, yeah.
it's a proven fact that the TSMC chip is actually better for battery life and performance, like everything, compared to the Samsung chip, which is really really weird if you
Yeah.
ask me.
Yeah, it's like I was like, I didn't know what to think about that. I'm like, well, and I heard, a good opinion on it is that if they advertised the lower speed chip, the Samsung chip, when they were advertising the phone, then it's technically okay because you're getting like a bonus then if you
Yeah,
get the
definitely.
TSMC chip. But at the same time, it does the tests do prove that it actually matters, but in real world usage, it doesn't. I mean, I don't know. It that's what they claim, but when they did some tests with like the videos like Austin Evans did, like he played videos like he noticed a significant it was like 20%.
Yeah,
thought.
especially with the battery.
Yeah, with the battery. It's basically the best tests were with how much battery was. It saved battery life is basically one of the biggest thing. Not even so much the speed.
Yeah, for sure. I think you're right. I think it was like a 20%. And this is the, I guess, worst case scenario between the difference
Right,
between both the
yeah.
chips, but 20% is a lot.
Yeah, it is. I mean, regularly you're only gonna notice like a 3% difference, but I mean, if you're watching if you're like on an airplane, constantly watching like videos, that's gonna matter.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm very happy that I have the TSMC chip. I
Yeah,
know.
I hope I can get that one.
So you are going to get an iPhone 6s.
Well, I didn't. I mean, I am more on the side. So for you guys, it's been so long. I mean, I kind of want to get a new phone soon, and I've been looking at Android options. Still hate Samsung just because I just hate it because I can. But I was looking at especially the new Nexuses, the Nexus 5X or the Nexus 6P, seem very appealing to me. I'm gonna choose either between that or an iPhone. Just because I want to see what the other side's like, and the customization options are more universal or easily accessible, if you know what I mean. So, and just some type of things like front. I want an ultimate media experience, basically. Portable media experience. And I'm definitely going to probably, if I get an iPhone, I'm getting the 6S Plus. Because I want to replace my iPad, so.
You want that beautiful 1080p screen?
Yep.
I think it's got like 400 ppi too, which is awesome.
Yeah, so that's important.
Well, cool. You'll have to keep us in the loop
Yeah.
So we just to make sure we guide you in the right option, because iPhone users can get astray sometimes. Gotta just keep conditioning them to love Apple.
Yeah, yeah. I almost feel like that's more of the case with the other side.
That's true. Yeah, I feel like a
But
lot of people with Android have been switching to iPhone.
Yeah. But they're both great platforms and
For sure.
whatever.
So what do you think about that iPad Pro thingy-majigger?
Oh yeah, I never got to vent about that. So when I originally heard about this, I've talked about it on the podcast before. I thought it was going to be stupid, but the application of it makes a lot of sense to me, because we are at the point now where an average person can do everything they need to do on a computer on a tablet. You do not need a desktop or a laptop to do it. All the applications run perfectly fine on a tablet now, like Word and Office and stuff like that. And there's a lot of cool art stuff. And the iPad Pro has the $100 pen. That's ridiculous. It is $100. I think it should be $50. I know it has technology in it. And then it looks like you plug it into the bottom of the iPad, and it looks like something that I can't say. You're changing your iPad into a man. But, and I'm trying to go so fast here because there's a lot to talk about. But, yeah, and it does a lot of cool art stuff, and it's super powerful. It's a great device, but it's $800.
It's a little bit expensive.
I can get that and then this can bring us on our next topic too in a little bit. The new Surface Pro. I can get that same functionality with a $500 version of that runs a full operating system.
Yeah, and I think that's where most people's problems and issues with it are, because it's just a big, powerful iPad.
Yeah.
And
and I thought it was going to be really stupid. I mean, I did change my mind on that. It makes sense, but it's $800, and it basically is justifiably $800 because of what the price of the regular iPad is. But technically, they'll just for it to make sense, they have to shift all of those prices down, because what the Surface Pro is becoming a very it's becoming more polished every year. They're coming out with like a new one every year. And it just seems like a way better option if you're looking for that type of device.
Oh, yeah. No, I totally agree. I mean, the Surface, people thought of it as a joke when it came out.
Yeah.
I don't even know, a few years ago now, but...
It was fat, too.
I'm telling you. Surface is making its comeback.
It is. I mean, and then Microsoft, also had their conference, by the way, recently. That's why we're talking about this. The Surface Book.
Woo!
Now, it looks a little weird, but it's basically it's kind of like an iPad Pro, where it's a larger screen, but it docks to a keyboard that it doesn't come with this by default, but you buy a higher option, has a NVIDIA GPU in it. Do you know how awesome that is? I love the idea that this has been something I have thought about when I was little, of taking, and there's other options for this too that gaming stuff make, but they're, expensive. This is expensive too, but over time it'll go down in price. But I love the idea of taking a computer, like a portable thing, like a tablet, docking it, and then turning it into a powerhouse while it's docked. But when I need to be on the run, take it off of that and do mobile stuff. And that's why I love the Windows, the idea that Microsoft has had. The only thing they need to bring me over now is to just maybe 2 more iterations. The only thing to bring me over after that is just going to be apps in the Windows Store, which still aren't there yet, but they will be, hopefully, after a while.
Yeah, I mean, the ball is in Microsoft's court now. I feel like Apple could have done something really. Apple could have changed the tablet industry with the iPad Pro if it would have run a full, or I mean, not even a full, but a hybrid of OS 10 and iOS.
Yeah, and that's the only way it would have made sense. And I just didn't see, like, unless it was running like full OS 10, which would have been like my dream. I just never saw Apple doing that, just because, or making a hybrid interface, because they have. Like, when it came to touch, I think they would have had to do, this hybrid interface all the way back with the original iPad for it to make sense. And that's why, like, it threw me off at the beginning of the iPad era that it was running iOS. I just didn't get that. You could have it could have been taken so much more advantage of. It was running some type of hybrid and able to run so much more stuff.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how many people actually buy the iPad Pro. And I think I was even listening to another podcast. And, I mean, it makes sense. The iPad Pro is not what your mom or your dad are going to buy. It's going to be somebody who's probably seriously invested into graphic design, or somebody who wants a super powerful mobile tablet.
Or, really invested in the Apple ecosystem and wants it. Was it this product where they said, we know you're gonna buy it, or something like that? What was the one quote they used that on? I think it was this. It might have been the Apple Watch, but I'm pretty sure it was the iPad Pro.
It'll be interesting. I'm curious to see if I ever see one of these in the wild. I mean, I think the release date is in November, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
I believe on Apple's website it should say coming in November, I think.
Okay.
And that's the iPad Pro. Are you going to be picking one up, Jake?
I'm getting... I have used my iPad mini too much. Like, to the point where there's ghosting on it. When I'm in the YouTube app, like, there's screen burn of the YouTube app, like, while I'm using it. It's bad.
That is bad.
So that's why I want these 6S Pluses, because I want to be able to bring basically an iPad experience with me anywhere I go.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get you there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to the Apple TV, because I think this is honestly the product that I was most excited for out of that event.
Same.
Because
same, yeah, definitely.
For not more than a few years, there hasn't been well, I mean, if you think about it, really since the Apple TV 2, there hasn't been like a big upgrade.
Right.
Like from 2 to 3, I know it got like, I think, an A5 processor, and from 720p to 1080p. But this is big. While the design is pretty much the same, it's just a lot taller than before. I'm excited because there's an app store on it now, and it's got, I think, an A8 processor, and it's got 2 gigs of RAM, and there's lots of internal storage. It's just gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and I think, and I know that it some people call this like a novelty or a hobby for Apple, and I think this product brings it to the center stage where it's going to be really polished. The OS looks very pretty. The controller basically basically is like a Wii killer, like, because apparently the rumor is you can only connect 2 right now, but I'm sure, like, maybe with another iteration of this, like, depending what the next Wii does or whatever, this is like a great contender with the example we saw with the baseball thing. It's smaller controller and everything.
Yeah, it's so cool because I think even besides the remote, you can actually use your iPhone as a controller, which is really cool. Because then if your friends come over and they have iPhones, you can
use the accelerometer and that.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for these games. Of course, it's up to developer support, but at this point, I'm pretty sure developers are going to make apps for the Apple TV. Because, I mean, they've made games for iOS, and there's not really that many games on Mac, but I can definitely see this taking off when it launches. I think that you can actually order it starting tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
And I really don't want it to be one of those things where it goes live at like 12 a.m. when I'm sound asleep, and it's you can't get...
You can only buy it, and there's only 4 available.
Yeah, 4. Like you go in the store, they're like, "Well, we sold out of all 4 within
Yeah.
the first 15 minutes."
We made sure we sold out so then we can sell out the year after that, and then the year after that. So we sell out like and it looks cool every year.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope that it's a thing where you can like pre-order and pick up in store because I really want to get my hands on these. I want to make videos on it. I want to talk about the software on there. I want to do a review on it. There's just so much fun stuff that I'm so excited for.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty much the Apple event, I think. I mean, I'm trying to remember if there was anything else that big or like anything else big that happened at that event. I don't think there was though.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty much it.
So now it's October 25th today, and we're well into the cycle.
Halo 5, 2 days.
2 days, can't wait. Moving on. But iOS 9.1 came out, I think Wednesday, which is pretty cool. Got some new emojis, new wallpapers, feels a lot faster. New toggle for the messages app.
It does feel faster.
It's buttery. Well, okay, I take that back. It's rigidly smooth, if that makes sense. Which is like 2 terms that mean the complete opposite of each other.
Yeah.
But it feels really good sometimes, and other times it's just so meh. Just doesn't feel super great, super smooth.
I don't really understand. I just don't get what like that iOS 9. There is no point to it.
Well, it's got some nice upgrades.
I mean, the news app.
Battery life.
Low
power
does
mode.
it actually? I guess low power mode. Yeah, but like it's just I don't know. It's not what anybody thought it was going to be.
I mean, no, it's not a significant upgrade.
I
But,
wanted it to be security and faster. That's basically it.
well, we can talk about the new versions of Mac and Windows in a second. But yeah, iOS 9. It's iOS 9.0.2 is very buggy still. So I was very happy to upgrade my daily driver to 9.1, and it's pretty good. Still glitches here and there, but search is nice.
And keep in mind, Sam's running the 6S, so
it better be
think
good.
of problems on the lower models.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Even the 6, it runs pretty well, and it runs pretty well on the iPod Touch 6 too, but a little underwhelming.
Still on 8.4.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any device. I don't think there's any device in my home on 8.4 anymore.
My mom's, my brother's iPhone is, because I'm too lazy to go in there and update it, but yeah.
Well, actually, I found this really cool YouTube channel the other day. What was the kid's name? I think his name was Sam. And he does like these really cool videos like talking about the software updates.
I hate that guy.
Really? You've seen him before?
Yeah, he doesn't have any subscribers.
Really? I thought he had.
His videos are so unpolished.
He actually, I think he hit 20,000 subscribers the other day, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. He did. Yeah.
But he probably doesn't deserve any of those.
He
subscribers.
probably. Yeah. He didn't even make a thank you video.
I hear that he just like sits at home all day and just like rakes in the ad money and doesn't care about his subscribers.
Doesn't care about his fans.
Oh no, not at all. That's word on the street.
Right. Yeah.
And I hear that like he just buys like 7 of the new iPhone and stuff just to like show that he has it.
Like he didn't even. His parents probably paid for those.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Not from his work money.
Yeah, and his parents buy him everything.
Yeah.
I forgot about that part. Yeah, he mentioned that before. Moving on. Do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about OS 10 El Capitan and Windows 10?
Yeah. Did we not talk about Windows 10?
Well, I think it was July 29th. It wasn't out yet, was it? Or what? I don't know. I can't remember.
I'm gonna check.
Did you have it yet?
Oh, I think was it? Yeah, I remember. I couldn't get it to work that day. That we recorded it.
Oh,
and literally,
yeah.
2 hours afterwards, I figured out a different way to do it.
Wait. It came out on July 29th, which was the last day we recorded.
Yeah, but I didn't have it until later that day.
So impressions, thoughts, favorite features.
I mean, yeah, I definitely am able to say everything about it. I've had a while to use it, but to review it. Yeah, I actually did a short review on my channel. If you want like a full in-depth like thing, but I love Windows 10. The privacy stuff with Microsoft's becoming as bad as Google. With that stuff, and they're it doesn't matter if you're on Windows 10 or not. They're adding it to all the way back to Windows Vista. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Which is, I don't understand why you would be running that. If you're on Windows Vista, upgrade to Windows 10 right now. It's free. I don't know what you're doing, but
correction. If you're on Windows Vista, leave.
Pretty much. But yeah, I really, I mean, I love it. I love the black UI. I like how the start menu's, condensed like that now, because I didn't have a problem with the start screen at all, like I've said before. But having it all on one screen makes it simpler to use, instead of having something on this screen and something on that screen. Now, I still use Windows in a way that nobody else does. I have a dock at the bottom of my screen. But if I were to get rid of my dock, I'd put everything, all my apps, in the start menu, just so I can click on it and launch them and stuff. But the UI looks really nice, and it's even lighter and faster than Windows 8. I put it on a really old laptop that my brother uses, which was originally running Windows 7, and holy cow, did it speed it up a ton. So, I like it a lot. I like the UI changes. The black, glossy black see-through with the start menu, and I'm trying to think of what else here. I like how it treats all apps as, like, the Windows apps that used to be just like Windows apps are now properly windowed. They don't have their own little X out system, their own exiting system. They can be used the same as every other app.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice upgrade. I've used it on my virtual machine for a while, and it's awesome.
Yeah, and Cortana's pretty cool. She answers questions about Halo pretty well, so I'm pretty happy with that.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, pretty much.
El Capitan is nice as well.
Yeah, how you liking that? I haven't paid attention to that much.
This is what iOS 9 should have been. It should have been a few really good features done well and not buggy at all, because that's exactly what El Capitan is.
That's what I think. Yeah, that's you need one of those updates every once in a while.
And it's awesome because the first 5 minutes after I downloaded it, I pressed the space bar to do a quick look of a file. And I just noticed that the animation for opening a file in a quick view window was different. And it just felt smooth and nice. And even going full screen, which used to be super laggy, and it would just jump frames before, now it's a lot smoother. It's not perfectly smooth. It doesn't go perfectly into full screen, but I'm telling you, I mean, it's an awesome upgrade. It just feels so nice to use, and I don't mind it. I love stability upgrades. I don't mind that at all.
Yeah, and that's one more thing about Windows 10 is that it feels smoother. There's not any hangs, glitches or stuff. It is a lot more. It's very polished. At this point.
Yeah, it's an awesome upgrade. If any of you guys have a Mac out there and we're holding off to update, as long as your computer's relatively new, I would totally recommend it, because it's the only Apple release in the past couple of years that I can say it just works. I've had zero issues with it. Continuity between iOS 9 and El Capitan works flawlessly. I can pick up from Safari on my Mac to my iPad or my iPhone or my iPod, or I can do something on my Apple Watch and it'll go to my Mac. It works. It works crazy well. I don't know how else to explain it. It's such a well-refined operating system, and Apple did an awesome job with it.
Yeah.
I wish I could say the same about iOS 9, but I don't know. It just seems like they would hire more engineers at this point. They have the money to do so.
Yeah, and also with with the my mom's computer's on Yosemite, and you were saying that it's working. It's making older hardware work better. You said on your dad's computer.
Well,
Right?
I guess my dad's computer is like a 2014 Mac Mini.
Does it have it has a physical hard drive though, you said?
Yeah, it's spinning disk.
Yeah, so should I upgrade my mom's 2011 MacBook to El Capitan?
What is it on now?
It's on Yosemite.
Oh, yeah, I would definitely upgrade it then.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it would work great.
yeah, I think it's 2011. All right.
Well, what else do we have on our docket? Anything?
You're already you're already thinking about iOS 9.2.
Yeah, I saw an article, I think, by 9 to 5 Mac that just said they had noticed the traffic or like the analytics on their site had started picking up like iOS 9.2 devices. It kind of ramped up after iOS 9.1 came out.
Okay.
So we'll probably see a beta for that. Let's use the iUpdateOS guessing calculator. Probably 2-3 weeks. Maybe a month at the very latest. But I could definitely see iOS 9.2 beta 1. I mean, coming anytime. Apple has been, especially since between iOS 8 and iOS 9, just beta after beta after beta. I mean, at one point, I think
Right.
there was like, last year with iOS 8, it was like iOS 8.1 was out, iOS 8.2 beta 5 was here, and then there was like iOS 8.3 beta 1 at the same time. It's just, it's
That was
insane.
weird. Yeah, you're getting a lot of, like, every week now, you're like, oh my god, they released another update. I gotta go home and do a video before I go to work.
Which I love, but
Yeah.
well, I take that back. I do love it. I just they're doing them on Wednesdays.
Not when you have to go to work.
I like Mondays. Mondays and Tuesdays are the best day for releases for me.
Right.
Wednesday's a little dodgy.
Yeah, I remember one more thing that I thought was also something that I think is the way everything should work. Another thing at the Microsoft event was their Continuum project, where you dock your Windows phone into like a little dock, plug it into a monitor, and it's running full-fledged Windows. Or, let me take that back, a full-fledged desktop. Have you seen this?
Yeah, I saw a little bit about it. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, they were running it plugged into a monitor and it turned into a desktop, and they could access all their apps on the phone while using the phone at the same time, which was awesome. Now, they didn't specifically state, but it did not look like it was running full-fledged Windows, unfortunately. I don't know. So, like, basically what I'm saying is I don't know if you can run desktop-only apps. I think you might have to run everything through the Windows Store.
Yeah, that's
don't quote me
interesting.
on that, though, but yeah.
It's going to be really cool to see what Windows does with that in the future.
Yeah, that makes me want to buy the phone right there. Because I love that idea of having this device in your hand that is as powerful as a desktop computer. Not it is a computer. It is as powerful and is able to do the tasks that a desktop computer can do. We're not that far away from it. This is the start. I'm going to say in a couple more years, we're going to be able to play console class games on portable devices. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm excited for the future.
Yeah, same.
Well, thanks so much for joining me today, Jake. We think we talked about a lot, had some closure on much needed to talk about events.
Yeah.
Sorry again for it being a while.
Sorry. We'll try to do it more frequently.
I want to say we would do it every week, but
keyword try. Yeah.
I can make no promises because I know both of our work schedules, quote unquote real jobs, fluctuate on a literally on a week to week basis.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to excuse me, find a time to meet, find something that'll work. I mean, just like have free time at the same time.
Find colleges.
Exactly.
Apply. ACT.
Hate the ACT.
Couple closing thoughts here. If you like games, Halloween night, we're doing the raid. We're live streaming it, right, Sam?
Yeah, the Destiny King's Fall raid.
Yes. Over on my channel. So if you want to watch Sam play Destiny, you can do that.
I hope the internet doesn't crash.
Yeah, I mean, if it does, then we'll stop, but yeah, I hope that doesn't happen either.
We can worry about that later.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Jake. Well, I know you have work very soon.
Yep.
So I'm going to let you
get
go.
ready right now.
So you don't get written up. But thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I really hope you enjoyed listening. If you did enjoy listening, definitely feel free to go ahead and leave a review on iTunes because we'd really appreciate it. And it helps us out. Lets us know what we're doing right. Lets us know what we're doing wrong. Super helpful for everybody involved.
Yep.
And I checked, and we do not have any new reviews.
Alrighty,
Jake. Nice talking with you, and I'll catch you later, man.
See you, Sam.